Yeah, what's going on? Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. What's up with y'all? Kind of tired. Real tired. Now, I'm not going to be long because last night's game, the Miami Heat did what they did in game one. They came out swinging, had control of the game. Defensively, they were different. They made sure when Aaron Gordon came down the court, they had a bigger body on them like a Bam, or they would have Jimmy. They were communicating. Joker, they were forcing Joker to be, aggressive. Joker, they weren't letting him just sit up top of the key or in the or at the elbow and try to operate and try to move the ball. They were like, no. We want you to beat us. And it was working. Then they started guarding 94 feet. The Heat were getting at them. But what messed the Heat up was the quick foul calls on Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent made two big plays that would have turned the game, and the Nuggets were going to be in trouble. They called a foul on Gabe Vincent when it was the inbound pass. He had position. He jumped up to tip it. They were off to the races. They got cheated on that. They got cheated on the Aaron Gordon, where Aaron Gordon wasn't even paying attention. The Nuggets were playing so dumb early on. And he wasn't paying attention. He was in transition. Jamal tried to hit him. Gabe saw it, tried to get there. Gordon saw it the last second, touched it, and fell. And Gabe and everything was tapping it. He tried to tip it. Jimmy Butler was going for it. They gonna call a foul. Then they called another foul where Jamalmurray just offensive foul. He just pushed Vincent off and called a foul. I was like, oh my goodness. So it was some bad calls, but the Heat were still in it. The Heat were still in it. Jimmy Butler started being aggressive. He saw the mismatch, which 9 times out of 10, it was going to end up being Jamal Murray. Murray was the mismatch guy. And he kept making him pay. And then he was getting to the mid-range, to the elbow, making shots. He got to the hole a few times, didn't get any calls, but he stayed aggressive. When the Miami Heat started falling in love with that goddamn 3-ball, that's when it was over. Then their rotations on defense it was horrible. There was no communication. A lot of times they were leaving guys open. Then the bench for the Heat, listen, Duncan Robinson can't play like Thunder Dan one game and then come back the next game and he's playing like what's his name? Playing like Della Vadova. He playing like Deli. The guy who the first Caruso. That was the first Caruso they were hyping up. very first Caruso, right? Now, Kyle Lowry's dumb plays. Listen, him and Marcus Smart are the same damn person. If they get more than 2 DAPs, you losing the game. I don't care how close it is. If they got more than 2 DAPs, you losing the game. He threw a ugly alley-oop like twice to Bam that got tipped and brought to the other side. The Nuggets got the rebound and started running. Then he threw another one to Jimmy Butler that was clear. Dude, Jimmy Butler ain't Vince Carter. That's Jimmy Butler. Jimmy's athletic, but he ain't have no hops like that. So the ball was thrown so high, Jimmy couldn't do nothing. So it tipped off. They got it and ran the floor. The third quarter is what also killed the Miami Heat. There was no energy coming out. They came out very lethargic. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on with this team because second half, they played so terrible. Their energy, that's all it was energy and effort. They were giving up the offensive boards. They weren't boxing out. You know, they weren't forcing Joker just to beat them. Jamal was getting it cooking early, and he kept it cooking. KCP came in, hit a couple shots, not that many. Bruce Brown, you know, their bench came to play. Michael Porter Jr. was terrible all night. They tried to throw Reggie Jackson in there, and he quickly was pulled at the end of the first half because he didn't pass the ball to Joker down the stretch like they hit the last second shot, which they could have capitalized on and went up by at least like 5 or like at least about 7 or 8 they could have. But you know, Reggie wanted to be the hero. But the Miami Heat, the thing is, they could beat this team. The Nuggets really didn't do anything real impressive. They, like Detroit T says it best, they play down to their competition, and they do. The Chicken Nuggets have always done this the past 4 or 5 years. Now, however, this is the first year they got their team, but the Nuggets are deep. They're deep, and they started using their size. They started going in. Joker and them were getting away with a lot of offensive push-offs. You know, it was terrible. But the quick fouls to Gabe Vincent early really hurt Miami. Because if Gabe Vincent, if they would have allowed those 2 plays that he made, it wouldn't have been no foul call. Miami Heat were going to take over. They kept stepping in, and they kept negating everything the Heat would do. And it was like, wow, really? Terrible. Gabe Vincent's big play, it was crazy. And then Jimmy, down the stretch, he's taking these ugly shots. He started taking bad shots. The new DAP, Pillsbury Kyle, call him PK, Pillsbury Kyle, started missing these shots and missing big shots. Bam started missing down under the hoop. It's just mental to me with the what was I gonna say? Oh, it's just mental to me when it comes to the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, they mentally be out of it at certain parts of the game. And this is when Jimmy needs to step up. This is my problem with Jimmy Butler. when it's time, certain points of the game where your team needs you to dig deep, he only shows it part-time. He's done this in the past. That's why when people are like, man, maybe something going on, I'm like, man, Jimmy always does this. He did this when he played in Chicago. Remember when Rondo got hurt? Those next games, Jimmy Butler disappeared like a mug. Him and D Wade disappeared. Disappeared. They were nowhere to be found. We had to put them on a milk carton. We ain't know where they were at. Then y'all remember the Minnesota series when they got there. He was okay in that series, but he was kind of up and down. The thing that makes Jimmy great is Jimmy's him being a floor general as well as a defensive anchor. But when it's time to dig deep and they need you to get it done, man, Jimmy barely shows up. And it's a travesty. Shout out to Joker, man. Joker went out there and played his ass off. You can't take nothing from Joker. And then the guy off the bench, Brown, it's the white dude. I think his last name Brown, too. Then they got two Browns. But the white dude who came off the bench, well, not the white dude, I ain't gonna say that, the foreigner, he came off the bench and he started balling. Like, he was killing. He got a dunk, he got a steal. Defensively, the Nuggets played their position. They stuck the guys. They weren't letting them shooters get them shots off like they did in game 2 and 1. And in this game, they actually beat them up. Shout out to Mike Malone. Mike Malone is out coaching Eric Spoelstra. He's out coaching him. That was a great adjustment in the second half when he came out. Eric Spoelstra looked like he was lost. He didn't know what was happening. And then Eric Spoelstra let the game get out of freaking hand. This is why I keep telling y'all be overrating Eric Spoelstra. Spoelstra should have called a timeout. Should have called a goddamn timeout. Nope. I'm going to keep letting my team miss all these shots, and I'm going to just let the momentum continue going Denver's way. Listen. When they went on that run and they were up by like 7 or 8, maybe 9, I think he called the timeout. Then they started talking and they went on another run. They went on like a 5 or 6, I think, point run. I'd have went out there and said another timeout. I would have gave out another timeout. I would have spent one. And I would have cussed them out like, yo, y'all got to get your head in the game or we're going to lose control of this game. This why in the fourth quarter, like they were coming back, it basically, they were done. They were tired. You know, and guys' shots weren't consistent. Plus, when the 3 ball isn't going, they went to the mid-range. You know, they got to make those mid-range shots. The Heat struggle against the mid-range shots. They struggle to make them. I'd be like, dude, it's a mid-range shot. Nope. It's tough for them. And then Jimmy Butler, you can't be right there under the goal. This would piss me off also by Jimmy. You was right under the goddamn goal. You gonna pass the damn ball out. I'm like, dude, if y'all keep passing this ball out and y'all right there to score, I'm gonna put my foot up your ass. That's what should have happened. But Spoelstra ain't nothing but a ski slope ass dude. That boy be at Escobar house every chance he get. Just stupidity. Not paying attention to detail at all. Not paying attention to detail. Not gauging the game correctly. And this be my problem with Eric Spoelstra. Sometimes Eric Spoelstra lets the game get away from him. And it's like sickening. It's like, dog, come on. But Jimmy got a star, man. When he's under the basket, he got to score. Bam did good last night, but Bam did good. But they got to put some extra pieces in there to help him. When you get in there, I need you to play like you in the NBA. I don't need you playing like you at the YMCA. And you barely getting more than 3-4 boards. Because they needed you to help attack the boards to take the pressure off of Bam. But this is what's hurting the Heat. They don't have anybody down there to help Bam rebound. And then they go this small ball type of crap, and this is what Spoelstra does. Spoelstra is a small ball person. That's all he is. He's a small ball guy. He does not care about getting big. Now, the lineup I like with Love, Bam, and Jimmy, that lineup was terrible because nobody was communicating. They were leaving shooters open. I'm like, Jimmy, you've got to get these guys under control. And I'm telling Spo, like, Spo, you got to get these guys under control. But I'm with what Kwame Brown said. I would throw UD in there for like 3-4 minutes and have them just get physical with Joker the whole time. Just have him get physical with Joker and go from there. I think that would have worked because it would have knocked his rhythm off. Plus, you guys could have been doing things elsewhere. So that was some BS, man. The Miami Heat gave that damn game away. They could have won that game. But because of down the stretch and because of, Jimmy turning into James/Jamisha, it really hurt those guys. Really hurt them. And it just irks me how, Jimmy just does what he does. Like, it's like Jimmy has to be, you got to talk trash to Jimmy for him to get up and want to, beat you. That's how he is. Jimmy got to have somebody talking trash to him. And it's like, bro, dog, if you need all that, then what's the point? They need you to step up and be a number one. You can't keep putting all this pressure on Bam. Bam trying to get the boards and D up Joker. He got a harder assignment than you guys. Joker is tough. He's a legit 7-footer and he's big. He's brolic with it. He gonna knock your ass around with them elbows and all type of shit. So y'all gotta step up and help Bam out. Now the Nuggets, shout out to the Nuggets. What the Nuggets did better this game was Jamal Murray was a little more aggressive. Joker was aggressive as well. Joker was going to the post more. That's what I want to see Joker do. Stay in the post. Sometimes him staying by that key is easy for them to defend. To me, he needs to get to the post and operate. Just go to work. Joker played very aggressive, and that's the Joker I like. I like when Joker is aggressive because that puts pressure on the other team to try to stop him. But it was a good game last night to me early on, and then it got to the third quarter, it was okay, and then fourth quarter, it's like, whatever, F this. We'll see y'all in game 4. That's just how it was. So, thank y'all for listening, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can donate to the page by going to my description box, hitting that link to my Cash App, where you can donate whatever your heart's desire. I also got a Zelle account. It's in the description box on how to find me. When we have a premiere or live video, like this is a premiere video, you guys can super chat. But if you guys come later, you can rewind it and you can leave a super thanks. So thank you guys for your love and blessings. We out. Deezy.